Hello friends, welcome back. I'm so happy you can be here to join me for day 2 of our 4-day focus on Mintay Papers Fall Festival collection. Now if you're just getting started, you can find a link for day 1 at the top of the description. But for today's project, we're going to be creating a Dutch door card. I don't believe I have ever made one of these style cards. If you know otherwise, you can let me know in the description below, but I think this might be the first one I have ever made. I found it very fun, it was very easy, and I was able to use up quite a lot of this beautiful collection. So stick with me and we'll make it together. So at the beginning of my videos, I do try to share with you the packaging that is for the collection that I'm working with, and in yesterday's video, I had thought I wasn't going to have this cover page to show you because I was going to cut it up, but that didn't turn out to be the case because I have the attention span of a 5-year-old and I wanted to play with a different collection, and so I made this card instead, and I just wanted to share with you how much I love this new flower die. And I know you guys are thinking, oh, Ginny already has all the flower dies, why do you need more? Well, I need all of them. I need every size, I need every petal configuration, so I'm always on the lookout for something new, and I picked this one up recently. This is the Dress My Craft 5-petal rounded flower. I'm going to be sharing this as part of a larger haul next week. I've been picking up things here and there for my future series, and I just wanted to put them all in one video. It makes it easier to share all the stuff, and I want to do it soon because I need to get it arranged in my shop, and so it's not just sitting in a pile. But anyway, I absolutely adore this flower, and so it has 2 different sizes. I used the 2 smaller ones for my project today, and I picked these up from scrapbook.com. They were having a sale, and they advertised up to 50% off, and none of the things I picked were actually 50% off. But I did save enough to cover the shipping and the tax, so I was pretty happy with that. I picked up quite a few other ones, so next week look forward to that haul. And so I just wanted to show you that my intentions were to continue working with this Mintay, and then I didn't. I just made this one instead, and so I wanted to share with you that pretty flower. Okay, so that was fairly off topic, but let's get into our tutorial for today. And here's the base for our Dutch door card. This is 65-pound weight cardstock. It's 12 inches wide and 9¼ inches high. I came in and I scored it at 3 inches, and then I also scored it at 9 inches, and then I flipped it and I scored it at 6 inches, and then also at 6¼ So this is going to give me 2 of the doors that fold in and one that folds on the top with a little bit of extra room for layering. And so I'm just going to show you what these marks are on the bottom. I don't know, can you see that very well? I'm going to add another portion to the front so that I'll have room to include all of my favorite layerings and a good size of the cut apart images. And I want to put a panel on here so that I can have this much room to embellish, but I want to have my adhesive only on the portion that lands on the top flap. So I centered my panel, and then I made 2 little marks at the bottom here, so I know where did this pencil even come from. If you have kids, you know they bring home pencils from everywhere, and then they just wind up in a drawer. This one says Sparky says test your smoke alarm, so you should go do that now. Anyway, I'm going to bring in my ruler, and I'm gonna mark across here. So now I know that my adhesive should not go beyond that point. When I put that adhesive on, then I can flip it over. I know when I have those points lined up on the bottom that my adhesive will be above that line, and I won't be worried about accidentally sealing this card up. But you have to do it before you put other layers on so that you can just write directly on the card base. So this Dutch door card is 6 inches wide, and that's going to give me 2 equal portions of 3 inches to fold in. For the inside, I'm going to include this very large, beautiful floral. I'm using the same matting as I did yesterday. I think that wine color is really pulling the details from those flowers. So I think that works really well. I'm going to come back in later and add a portion for a sentiment to be added, but that actually is the finishing detail for the inside. And then I'm going to fold this back over and work on the top flap or the Dutch door portion. I know that this is 3 by 6 and I know that these are 3 by 6, so the measurements for all these pieces are going to be the same. So for the panels, the cardstock is 2 7/8 by 5 7/8, and the pattern paper on top is 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that will be the same for all three. So I'm just going to add this here. Maybe it will be easier if I open it up and have it more flat on the surface. So I'm just adding this with my double-sided adhesive tape, and that will be the Dutch portion of the door. Now what I want to do is go ahead and add my panel here so I can use those registration marks that I have. So I will put my adhesive on now. I'll just pull that backing off of my tape and then line that up with the marks there. This piece is 110-pound cardstock. It is 4.5 by 4.5, and that'll be the base for the layers that we add for the top. Let's go ahead and finish the inside now. So these are the same size panels as I put on the top, and I'm going to add those with a little bit of a spacer just so that I can bring in some dimension here to the base of this card. And so I'm just going to include that gorgeous white pumpkin, and the same for this side as well. What I really like about these cards with the larger panel sections is that you can incorporate some of the bigger pattern of the paper. So if you were to, say, layer this under something else, it would definitely get lost underneath the layers that you added to it. So now you can see that our book folds up like that, and we can work on the top. Now, this panel is going to go over our 110-pound cardstock, and the measurement for my cardstock is 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. The pattern paper is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that just goes right into the center. So I've got a doily die here, and I'm going to adjust it so that it is more toward the top and the right, so that I will have room for my flower arrangement to come in. So what I want to do is first add my focal image, that beautiful white pumpkin with the flowers and the fancy coffee drink. I put my border on that as well. And these are up on a spacer, so that's even one more layer of thickness and dimension. I'm just going to add this right to the center and then flip it over and add my adhesive to the back and then offset that to leave room for our flower arrangement. This is basically the same one I created yesterday with all of my wild orchid craft flowers. I did change the angle for this card because I can wrap that around the corner, and so it's basically all the same elements. I did switch out these gold leaves for the ones that were the brown glitter, and then I just used all of my favorite finishing details like netting and twine, and this is going to go right here on the bottom, so you can see why I offset that a little. I wanted to make sure to leave that image as clear as possible. So I'll add this with my hot glue right in the corner. Press that in very well because this is a heavy arrangement. So to balance that, I need to add some of the other embellishments to the top right. I just got a couple of little leaf charms here, and I'm going to add them with my hot glue. And then I'll finish off the top of those cut strings with a beautiful bow. And this has a secondary layer of twine bow and a vintage button. So that finishes off that corner. I think I'm going to add a couple of these little sequins here just to add a little bit of sparkle to the top. So while I am working on that, we can talk about the question of the day. Yesterday, I asked what pie you all would choose, and it was fairly evenly distributed amongst pecan and pumpkin. I had a couple of people go rogue and write in their own favorite, and so I took creator privilege and I just moved their vote to the pecan. That was what I chose. But it was not any kind of upset at all. Everyone was kind of fairly even across the board on that. So for today's question of the day, would you rather wear a cozy flannel shirt in the fall, or would you rather wear a big comfy sweater? And although I do like sweaters, because you know I was a teenager in the 80s and that was all the thing, is who had the best, brightest, most patterned sweater. I can't work with them on, and I always push up my sleeves when I work. See, I always have sleeves on, but you never see them on the video because I can't have that all down here while I'm working. So if I had a flannel, I could roll the sleeves up, and that would be much more practical. So let me know down in the comments, would you rather choose the flannel shirt or a big comfy sweater? Okay, that's all for day 2 of our 4-day Focus On series with the Mintay Paper Fall Festival collection. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you come back tomorrow for day 3. Don't forget to answer the question of the day in the comments below and leave me a big thumbs up for this tutorial. You can find links for all our social media sites in the description below. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day. I thank you so much for watching. Bye.